When it comes to the L mount, I've talked a lot about how there isn't a really good lens selection, at least for me when it comes to what I'm after. A lens that can do wide angle shots, but also push into that middle of the range, a really good, reliable, robust zoom lens like Micro Four Thirds has with the 10-25. But there is the Sigma 28-45, and I did pick one up for a few reasons, but we need to talk about it. But before we get started, like this video, hit the subscribe button and consider joining the channel. Channel members get exclusive access to Filmmaker Alchemy, behind the scenes lessons and insights on the business of video production. Learn how to turn your content into gold. Let's cut right to the chase. The Sigma 28-45 is everything they say it is and more. It's a great lens, but I don't think it's actually a very good lens for most people. First of all, it's quite big and heavy, which you probably already know. But also, that zoom range, 28-45, I don't find particularly all that useful as a general purpose lens, but we should talk about why I bought this. You see, I do have projects frequently that require a wider field of view, but also really shallow depth of field. That's something that is a personal need of mine for a variety of projects, but I don't think that's the case for most people. And I honestly think you can get the same results or very similar results with other lenses that are cheaper, lighter, and smaller. So why would you go with the Sigma 28-45? Well, it's a very particular use case, a very niche product. And overall, I wouldn't recommend it for most people. So if you've been looking at the Sigma 28-45 thinking, ooh, I really want that, I really need it, I gotta buy it, take my advice. Don't buy it. Go for something else. Stick with what you already have. I had a very specific need for it that is ongoing. So a good reason that I shouldn't rent it. If you only need something one time, just rent it. But if it's something ongoing that you're using over and over and over again, definitely worth the purchase. Obviously, you don't want to keep having to rent the same thing and spending more money on something you don't actually own. But I will say, the 28-45 does something cool that you might not expect, which is it has a great close focus. This is something they've advertised, but if you're used to shooting with really shallow lenses, something like, think like an 85, 1.4, 1.8, 85s tend to not focus all that close unless you're buying a particular macro version or something like that. But in general, 85s, you can't really focus that close. With the 28-45, you can focus really close, but that becomes an extra problem when you're shooting at a 1.8 on full frame. Basically, nothing is in focus at that point. So for that close-up detail, more macro style work, you end up needing to stop down on the lens, which kind of defeats the purpose of having a 1.8 because again, this is big, it's heavy, and it's expensive. So if you're looking at the 28-45, just know that it's everything they say it is. It's sharp. It can definitely replace some of your primes. It's got a decent zoom range, I guess. It's kind of wide, kind of middle of the road. Doesn't quite reach 50, doesn't actually get as wide as I would like. Something like a 20 mil, I think would be far better. And so I'm still looking for that perfect lens complement on full frame as what I have on Micro Four Thirds. I've talked about this lens a ton, but that Leica 10-25 on Micro Four Thirds is one of the best lenses I've ever used. It's one of my favorite lenses of all time. Because it's fast, it is expensive, but it's insanely useful if you need wide angle coverage as well as middle focal range coverage. Of course, it's not telephoto. There is no perfect lens of a 10-1000 f1. That's kind of the joke April Fool's lens, right? That people always talk about. Why can't we get a 10-1000 f1.0? Not practical. Maybe it is physically possible. Someone could actually build it, but it'd be insanely expensive and probably gigantic and ridiculous, right? This is not a realistic lens. So in reality, we have to kind of pick and choose our favorites, our priorities. What do we need? How many lenses do we want to bring? And for me, the 28-45 does one trick and it does it really, really well. It's nice to be able to zoom from 28-45, but that adjustment really isn't as much as you probably want from a zoom lens. And 28 isn't quite as wide as I would prefer either. Again, something like a 24 or even a 20, 20 is on full frame. That's my sweet spot. That's kind of my golden number. Because again, coming from Micro Four Thirds, that 10-25, you're getting that 20-50 full frame equivalent. So if we had a 20-50 f2.8, that would be probably my dream perfect lens. But for whatever reason, Sigma seems set on this 28 millimeter as their kind of end cap. So they have their 16 to 28, their 28 to 70 for their contemporary lens lineup. Of course, there's the 24 to 70, the very classic traditional 24 to 70. But for whatever reason, 28 is becoming this kind of new common standard. It's getting out there a lot more. So now 28 to 45. And for me, 28, that's not really what I'm after. Maybe it makes designing the lenses a little bit easier, but in using these devices, using these lenses, I would prefer something a little bit wider that pushes more into that mid-range. 20 to 50, perfect lens for me. That's my dream lens. I'd love to see it happen at some point. And maybe it will be Leica if they figure out to make more L-mount lenses. I mean, the L-mount is Leica. They kind of started it, and I wish they would offer more complements to what they're doing on Micro Four Thirds in addition to full frame. I think we need more of those differentiators. 24 to 70, everyone does 24 to 70. Sigma's doing this whole 28 to whatever. That's fine, but I want some more competition, some more differentiation, more lenses focused on the use and the application and covering different zoom ranges rather than everybody just doing the same thing and copying each other. That's not very fun when it comes to lens options and variety. So I'm looking forward to something that can be a little bit wider, but still have a nice, decent zoom range. Because I don't know, if you like primes and that's what you want to stick with, of course, like I have a 20 millimeter prime, Sigma, 85 prime, but there's many times where I need one lens that has a decent zoom range on it. So I don't want to be stuck with swapping lenses all the time, stuck with primes. I really like having the flexibility of a zoom, but I want more useful focal lengths in that zoom range. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a personal thing for me. Maybe you're like it. Maybe 28 to 45 is the perfect range for you. If it is, then you probably already bought this lens. But if you've been eyeing it, I would say, unless you need it and you have a good reason for it, don't feel like you need to buy it because it's somehow better there's lots of other lenses out there that do similar things and arguably like similar enough that you don't really need the 28 to 45. If you do need it, you probably already know that and you have a good reason for it. So maybe it is worth the investment because all things considered, it's not the most expensive lens. It is impressive for what it does. The fastest full frame zoom lens, I think, the world's first fastest full frame zoom lens, whatever that's worth. But again, a lot of times you're going to want to stop down anyway and not use that 1.8 just because if you're trying to do close focus, close up with a wide angle, which is a cool look, it kind of all just blurs to a mess if you're shooting at a 1.8, especially if you're shooting full frame. If you're cropping in and shooting APS-C on your full frame camera, maybe that's a different story. Maybe you want that extra speed in the aperture just to keep some of that shallowness, the full frame look, even in a Super 35 or APS-C mode. So there's some use there, especially if you're shooting with something that crops in, shooting 4K 60 or something like that. So there's some use, but ultimately that changes the focal range as well. So it's kind of really up to the individual and what you particularly need. For me, I did need the 28 to 45 for this series of projects that I'm working on. However, I don't think it's something that everybody needs. Certainly, probably not most people. It's too big, it's too heavy, too expensive, and too limited in terms of what it offers. You can definitely get better bang for your buck by looking elsewhere. So I'm sorry if that upsets you. If you're just looking for another reason to spend more money and buy more stuff, this probably wasn't the video for you.